10 Success Secrets Arnold Schwarzenegger used to become a multi-millionaire.
1. Work out this hidden muscle every day of your life.
Arnold started working out and building his body from a young age. But one of his mentors told him,
Don't just work out and build muscle on your body.
your brain is a muscle too. So make sure you build it. He took that to heart and focused on becoming a learning machine, developing a strong curiosity for everything.
When he was in the army, he tried to learn all he could.
From driving trucks, to motorcycles, to even tanks. Other than bodybuilding, he immersed himself in real estate, art, mail order marketing, acting, politics, and more. As Warren Buffett says, the more you learn, the more you earn. If you want to make more, you gotta have more knowledge and skills.
2. Learn only from these people if you want to get results fast.
Arnold was first introduced to bodybuilding by one of his friends. He liked it. And kept on going. Turns out his friend knew the current bodybuilding champion, Mr. Austria, personally. He introduced the guy to Arnold, and Arnold started getting personal training and tips from a champion. Over time he would meet more and more great champions and added them to his network. Like former Mr. Universe Reg Park, who he befriended and visited a couple of times for tips and training.
Most people learn from guys who are somewhat successful.
But Arnold made it a point to learn mainly from people who were at the top of their game, the very best in the world. That's what allowed him to accelerate his progress and become the youngest bodybuilding champion in history. Want to make more money fast?
Don't waste your time learning from people making $1 million or $2 million.
Learn from guys making at least $100 million or more in your industry. 3. The one thing you must always be doing if you want to reach the pinnacle of wealth and success.
After completing one of his first films, Arnold asked the director why the movie was only being promoted in a couple of places outside the US. He wondered why they didn't promote the movie all around Europe, Asia, and more.
The director's reply was that
none of the actors want to do that sort of stuff.
all they want to do is just focus on the acting and wait for the money to roll in. Arnold said that he would be willing to go out and travel across different countries to promote the film. And he did.
In addition to that, he also showed up for tons of interviews, talk shows, and more.
All to sell people on his upcoming movie. It's not just actors. Most content creators, like authors, artists, etc., hate the idea of selling.
All they want to do is create content or art, and wait for the money to roll in.
Bad mistake. If you want to be successful in any field, you need to learn to sell.
And that was one thing Arnold loved to do.
Sell. Promote.
Market.
Want to make even more money in your field? You gotta level up your sales and persuasion skills.
4. Tap into your inner insanity if you want to see results fast.
During his days as a bodybuilder, Arnold used to live with his best friend, Franco. Franco was also a bodybuilder.
And they used to run experiments together.
Just like a pair of mad scientists. They'd do different workouts trying to affect different parts of the body. And they take notes every day about which muscles and muscle groups were being affected. If any part of the body wasn't responding as they'd like, they'd experiment with more and different workouts. It was all about rapid experimentation to get results.
Same thing in your business, marketing, or whatever field you're in.
If you want to see results fast, you gotta learn to be a mad scientist.
Experiment.
Try stuff out. Do stuff that no one would ever think of doing.
And sit back and record the results.
Keep doing what works, and stop doing what doesn't. Try fast, fail fast, and learn fast. 5. The ultimate secret to a hyper-productive life. A lot of people know Arnold Schwarzenegger as one of the greatest bodybuilders in history. He completely dominated all the major competitions of the time. But what most people don't know is what he was doing during those bodybuilding days. Other than training his body, he was learning and mastering the art of real estate on the side. And making major successful deals. At the same time, he was also working with his friend Franco on a new construction company. And learning the ropes in construction. He was taking college classes too. And doing direct mail order marketing to sell his courses and books. Not only was he hyper-productive, but he was a boss at everything he did. The secret to his hyper-productivity?
A disciplined daily workout routine where he worked out 5 to 6 hours a day. It should come as no surprise that exercising and working out the body on a daily basis helps improve oxygen flow to both your heart and brain. This in turn means that you're gonna think better and react faster. In other words, super productive. There are few hacks as simple, and yet as powerful, as a consistent daily workout routine of at least an hour or 2 a day. Regardless of the type of business you're in, the more productive you are, the more money you'll make. 6. Don't be fooled, he never made this common mistake. Arnold may have been into bodybuilding, real estate, mail order, construction, and more. But he was actually really hyper-focused. He had a lot of side projects. But he never lost sight of his main focus once he had one. He was, and still is, a big proponent of writing down goals.
And he would have sometimes a few goals going at once.
But there would always be one main goal which would be the major focus.
At different times of his life these major goals were
bodybuilding, acting, comedy, politics, etc.
And whatever he hyper-focused on, he worked on it day and night. And got top-notch results. Sure, you can have fun side projects.
But if you want to be successful in whatever your big business is, you got to be clear on your main focus.
And put the majority of your time and energy into that.
7. You need this or your lofty goals will fail. Arnold didn't just set goals.
He made sure to set specific goals.
With specific numbers for exactly what he wanted to achieve.
And he made sure to envision them clearly in his mind. When he was just getting started with acting, he had a very specific goal of making $1 million from a single movie. This specific goal helped him to decide what roles to take, and what roles not to take. And eventually, by rejecting side roles that would affect him negatively, he built up to $1 million paydays with each movie he made. He more than surpassed the specific goals he set. You gotta be specific with your goal setting, and be super clear with your vision no matter what business you're doing. 8. Think big, don't think small, and you'll skyrocket your results.
When Arnold got started out bodybuilding, he quickly won his first competition, the Junior Mr. Europe contest.
But he didn't stop there. He set huge goals of becoming the world's greatest bodybuilder. And that meant winning competitions like Mr. Olympia, which he eventually won and dominated a record 7 times. When he started his acting career, he didn't just settle for a side role.
Or just think about making a movie or two.
He wanted to be one of the greatest Hollywood actors in history. And he did it. If you set your sights high, you'll reach income levels and achievements far beyond your imagination. This is because setting higher goals helps you make decisions that lead towards those goals.
Of course, you should take baby steps along the way.
But think bigger, and you'll get more. 9. Turn your biggest weaknesses into your greatest strengths. When it came to bodybuilding, Arnold's greatest weakness used to be his calves. It used to be harder for Arnold to sculpt them than anywhere else. Most people who have such a problem would normally cover up their calves to conceal their weakness. But not Arnold. Instead of covering them up, he wore shorts everywhere he went to expose his weakness in public. This in turn motivated him to work on his calves more and eventually overcome his weakness. Thus, he took a source of weakness and turned it into a point of strength and motivation.
And he did similarly with various other weaknesses in his life.
Think of ways to turn your liabilities into assets. Instead of hiding or avoiding your weaknesses, you will profit greatly in the long run. This is true in both life and business. 10. You gotta find and carve out your niche. When Arnold got into acting, he was having a tough time getting key roles.
Most leading men in those days were skinny guys with handsome faces.
There were no actors with a monstrous body like his.
He was told various times that he had to lose that if he wanted to hit it big in Hollywood.
But he disagreed, and instead held on to it, and eventually, the time came where he could develop his niche.
He became the go-to guy for making large action movies with super muscular heroes.
And because of his unique physique, he managed to get a lot of unexpected roles and build himself a niche that only he could fill. No matter what industry you're in, the worst thing you can do is try to be like everyone else. Instead, find your unique talents and attributes and use that to carve out a niche for yourself that no one else will be able to take. The more unique you are, the more attention you attract, and the more money you can charge. Links and resources in the description below.
For the best deals on Millionaire Marketer training, visit IM Coupons.
Thanks for subscribing.